Ridiculous Crime is a production of iHeartRadio.
Zaron.
Elizabeth.
Are you serving over there?
Don't get me started. So, like, what I'm serving, I can't say over the air.
I know.
So.
I'm serving soft serve in my mind. You know what's ridiculous?
Oh, brother, do I.
Spill it.
So in this 2000 book, year 2000, there was a book, it wasn't called the 2000 book, but it was a book that came out in 2000 by authors Anthony Summers and Robin Swan, Robbyn, Robin Swan.
Robin.
Now, in that book, they described how close we once got to World War III and how, get this, Elizabeth, Henry Kissinger prevented a nuclear war.
Wait, what?
I know. I was surprised,
that's a
too.
surprising turn of events.
But according to...
and you killed him.
I did.
You did.
With my mind. Mm-hmm. And so, according to George Carver, this like Vietnam specialist, in 1969, the North Koreans, they shot down like a U-2 spy plane, and it made... Dick Nixon all angry, right?
Was Bono on board?
Richard Nixon was known to get a little tossed late at night in the White House.
Right.
Like, he would get heated and be like, I want to bomb them, right? So according to Carver, quote, Nixon became incensed and ordered a tactical nuclear strike. The Joint Chiefs were alerted and asked to recommend targets. But Kissinger got on the phone to them. They agreed not to do anything until Nixon sobered up in the morning.
Oh, my God.
So Nixon was trying to call a nuclear strike on North Korea in the middle of the Cold War, which would have caused a nuclear exchange from either the Russians or the Chinese.
Yeah, and then we wouldn't even be here.
Yes.
Never would have been born.
All because Nixon, we got heated and was like, we should bomb them. Right? And even Kissinger was like, well, that is not a good idea, or whatever. But,
you know what the problem is that men are too emotional and hormonal.
I say this all the time. And I love that Kissinger told the Joint Chiefs of Staff, ignore the president's order, and they did.
Ignore the bloodlust.
They waited till the morning. Yeah. They're like, he'll sober up. Yeah. And this wasn't the only time he did this.
Well, yeah, that's why. They're like, okay, fine, yeah.
So there you go.
That is ridiculous.
Yes.
Do you want to know what else is ridiculous?
I'm sorry, Elizabeth. He literally had to say, Henry, we got to nuke them. He knew what he was saying.
He knew it.
Sorry.
Those words came out of his mouth.
It's just how crazily close we've gotten.
How much does that mess up a mind to be able to say, like, we've got to nuke them and have it? I think it's this coin toss, right, of humanity, so that, like, if you have the power to say, let's nuke them, which is just in that abstract kind of language is disgusting. But aside from that, either to hold it as the most, like, incredible, fragile weight that you carry for humanity, or as like, I've got a pipe swinging thing on this one and nuke them. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like, I'm 5 highballs deep.
It feels like there's two sides to the coin, and which one are you? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I'm just saying. Is basically my point is we've avoided World War III in the past, and so let's just fingers crossed.
It can be avoided again. So yes.
There you go.
Even though you killed Henry Kissinger, we can avoid this. We can do it, you guys.
Thank you for the credit for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. Always. Okay, so you know what else is ridiculous?
No, I do not.
Trying to do a good town dirty. Ooh. Oh. This is Ridiculous Crime, a podcast about absurd and outrageous capers, heists, cons. It's always 99% murder-free and 100% ridiculous.
You damn right.
Zaron.
Elizabeth.
Close your eyes.
What?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh.
Zaron, I
run up on me with that.
I'm not of sound mind. I have allergies.
Oh, yeah.
And it's in my
Your
eyes
sinuses?
and my nose and my throat and my teeth and my toes.
In your body?
It's in my face. I always ask my dogs, are you hungry in your face and your body? They answer me anyway.
Of course they do.
Allergies. We had that heat wave and just boom, everything's
pollen hit the air.
I know, it's awesome.
I got very lucky that everyone in my family has allergies.
Well,
no, I don't have them.
Oh, I'm Zaron. I don't have allergies. Okay, so we're keeping our eyes open right now.
Yeah, sorry.
I want to read to you from the Tuesday, May 13th, 1879 edition of the San Francisco Chronicle.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I don't want you to worry. This is not a California-centric day.
Okay.
It just happens to be from the Chronicle. Headline: A circus fraud. A man who subsists by using other men's names.
What?
Yeah, here's the text. About 5 o'clock last evening, a Chronicle reporter, while standing upon the northwest corner of Bush and Kearney Streets, overheard the somewhat unintelligible remark, "He's the high daddy of the whole of them."
What, the high daddy of the... Wow.
It evidently referred to a short, thick-set, dark-complexioned individual with full face, which was ornamented with a heavy, dark mustache, and who was leaning carelessly against a building on the opposite side of the street. There was nothing about the man to indicate why he should possess the high-sounding title as High Daddy, and yet the strange appearance of his ever-moving black eye, the constant tapping of his long, slender fingers upon the window glass behind him, coupled with a certain undefinable something in his dress and manner, stamped him at once as a peculiar personage. Inquiry revealed the fact that he was the proprietor of a circus, or at least he had been overheard a short time before to represent himself as such. Upon further inquiry, however, it was ascertained that the man, whose name is George Diavolis, represents himself as an attaché of almost every circus that exists.
Wait, what? There's
so much happening.
Every circus.
It's all in him.
By the way, from now on, can you introduce me as the High Daddy?
The High Daddy?
Like, this is my friend, the High Daddy.
I'm the lady host and you're the High Daddy. Okay, that works.
You.
It works so beautifully. He's the High Daddy of the whole of them. So much happened in that paragraph.
Oh my God, yeah.
That, like, my eyes spun around like slot machines, and then I was like, ding, 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 ding.
You ever seen those rooms where they have like ping pong balls sitting on mouse traps and you throw in one ping pong? That was my brain.
That's how it worked. It was beautiful. And I became hungry for it in my face and my body. So, all right. Who are you? I'm the representative of every circus on the planet. Where'd you go to school for that? All right. So this guy.
Is that a technical college?
Apparently, he'd been at the Circus Con for some time.
Okay.
Like, hey, Elizabeth, what's the Circus Con? Try to keep up, Zaron.
What is the Circus Con?
Keep up, Zaron.
I'm right
Open
here.
your ears.
Like, look behind you. There I am.
Essentially, someone comes to town and hypes up a circus.
Okay.
They sell tickets. They sell sponsorships.
It's like the advance
ad
man.
space. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the circus never materializes.
Oh, that's
never
good.
comes to town.
That's really good.
And no one ever sends in the clowns because they're already here in the dupes who bought the tickets. So,
surprise, you're the clowns.
So this guy on the San Francisco street corner in 1879 was well known for this, a high daddy of the craft. And according to the article, in the past, he'd passed himself off as an advance agent of Rentz's German circus.
Okay.
And said he was in town looking for talent, and like he's doing this talent search, and can I also borrow $30 because I'm waiting for a wire transfer to come in from London. There's no wire transfer, of course. Luckily, the Mark figured that out and got the money back. This same guy, Diavolis, he once impersonated Harry Cordana, the famous stilt performer.
Oh, not Harry.
No, the Harry Cordana. Another time he told folks that he was Hernandez, the writer. The Hernandez, the writer.
The writer. Rider, okay.
R-I-D-E-R.
Like on horseback.
Like ride 'em cowboy, yeehaw, yeehaw.
Okay.
So, Hernandez. There was once a real circus in town, Montgomery Queens Circus. The money man for that circus got a bill one day from a hotel. 5 days board, $7 borrowed money. And the legit circus guy is like, what is this about? I don't know anything about it. And the innkeeper's like, it's for Romeo Sebastian. You know, Romeo Sebastian, your circus star.
Was that one of Lenny Kravitz's early names?
Yes.
That was Romeo Blue.
He was Romeo Blue, and then he was Romeo Sebastian. And then he became Lenny Kravitz.
Yeah. In Europe. He was...
Europe. That's what the posters all translate to. You know, Romeo Sebastian, the circus star. The guy's like, I've never heard of him. I'm like, oh, Diavolis. So Diavolis, he got a free hotel room in San Francisco once by telling the place that he was P.T. Barnum. Oh. Did he look like P.T. Barnum?
Probably not.
Not in the least. Was the circus in town? No.
I would have claimed I was Bailey from Barnum and Bailey.
No
one knows what Bailey looks like.
Or I'm one of the Ringling
One of
brothers.
the Ringling brothers.
I'm the forgotten Ringling brother.
Isn't it crazy how bad circuses
Jethro.
hit bad times where they had to combine? Where like Ringling Brothers was its own circus,
Oh, yeah,
Barnum
they
was
had
its
to
own
consolidate.
circus, Bailey was its own
You know,
circus.
it used to be that they had like what, 7? It's like media monopoly. They had like 7 owners of media. Now we're down to like 2 circus.
Exactly.
All right,
Circus
anyway.
consolidation.
So Diabolus told the hotel that I'm P.T. Barnum. Hi, I don't know if you know me. I'm in town to scout out locations and such, but like keep it quiet because like I don't like the attention. I'm P.T. Barnum.
I'm just here to do business.
I'm a private
not sign
man.
autographs.
He went up to Sacramento and told him that he was the advance man for an Australian circus. He's all, good day, mate. And they're like, what even is that? That's not Australian. He's like, oh, Barbie. So he managed to borrow a couple $100, which was a lot.
Oh, that's a good chunk of change.
And then he skipped town. Diabolus. The point of the article was to let the public know that although Diabolus had done 18 months in San Quentin for his scams, he was back at it. And while a good number of people felt bad for him and thought his cons were actually the work of a mentally unwell, compulsive liar, the public needed to know that this criminal was out there and should be avoided.
Yeah, you got it.
It was like a public service.
Totally.
So circuses, they really started back in ancient Rome. Let's go back to
Yes.
It started with Mehmet II. But I want you to forget all that. The modern circus.
You just bring that up to get my attention.
I did. I was like, let me say Rome, Vikings, Mehmet, get his attention. All right, now you're listening. Great.
Totally, bright eyes.
The modern circus. Oh, I lost him again. Came around in like the 1700s in England.
Okay.
It was mostly like trick riding on horses.
I was wondering what the attractions
Yeah,
were.
but then they added in acrobats and like tightrope walkers and clowns and jugglers
they
and
have
stuff.
people from faraway places.
Yeah, selling faraway spices.
Yes, exactly.
So circuses have always kind of freaked me out.
You seem like the type.
Like I'm not a fan.
Yeah, like some people are afraid of clowns, but you're like not into
It's
circuses.
just I don't like when they exploit animals, but just like
oh, that's what it is.
that's a big thing. Like when I was a camp counselor during the summer, like in college, that's what I did, and we took the kids to the circus at the Oakland Arena once because it was like a City of Oakland thing.
Sure.
And it was so depressing. And the elephants and the lions looked so sad. And then the kids were bummed out by it too.
Oh yeah, like a threadbare lion.
Yeah.
That'll bum a kid out.
Do you have clown issues? Do you have clown problems?
No, but I've known people like my sister once scared somebody by putting a clown doll in the closet, and when they opened the closet, we could hear that person shrieking.
But your sister loved that. So
Oh, 100%. You could hear this guy shrieking from like, I don't know, a block away.
Yeah.
It was insane.
I'm not scared of them. They just also bum me out.
I've
There's
known a few
something
people
off,
who became clowns.
Yeah. I knew someone who did clowning as a political statement.
Oh, there you go. I knew
At
that
protests.
they did it as a career.
At protests,
They went to
Zaron.
clown college and everything.
They called it clowning.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't even want to get into it.
You do not.
It's a whole thing.
I don't want you to either.
Yeah. There's something off and I don't like it. Circuses, clowns. Anyway. So
But wait a minute. Did you not like the Harlequin clowns?
No.
No, none of them. So not like what about
I'm not afraid of
what
them.
about the sad bum clowns? You know, like
I kind of want one of those oil paintings of a
Yes,
sad bum
right?
clown, but for the kitsch factor. But they don't scare me. They just kind of bum me out, or there's just something off. Something's not right. And I don't know what that is. So
I like clowns because they're chaotic. Like
Yeah, you
throwing
would
a
like
bucket
it.
of confetti at children.
Sure,
Love that stuff. Harlem Globetrotters, they're clowns.
they're a kind
they're
of clown.
total clowns.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? You just have to
Yeah.
broaden. You got to
This
broaden,
clown.
Elizabeth.
Yeah, I do. I need to think. No, I don't. I'm stuck in my ways. So in the beginning,
Yes.
modern circuses, they took place in big arenas. In 1825 in the U.S., Joshua Purdy Brown was the first circus owner to use a large canvas tent for the circus performance.
Oh, the big top, yes.
Mobile circus action, right?
Totally.
P.T. Barnum then got in on the action, revolutionized the whole thing. He added the freak show or the
Yes,
sideshow.
Sideshow, yeah.
The exploitation of that is very upsetting. And I was going to do this whole side thing, and I was like, why do I do this to myself?
Yeah, like the lizard boy, the bearded
Yeah, let's
lady,
just stay
all that
happy.
kind of
Let's
stuff.
stay happy.
Yeah. He also brought in like Jumbo the elephant.
Yeah.
He had like the crazy sized
Oh
animals.
yeah,
and
yeah. Everything was outsized and weird and
Right,
odd
either too
and
small or too big,
too big, too much,
hairy, not enough hair. there.
Not enough. Yeah, exactly. The thing about circuses is that there's always like a thin halo of crime around it.
That's why I like
a fuzzy,
especially the sideshow.
A fuzzy aura in the air,
Yeah.
like a thin cluster of gnats erratically buzzing above and around them. Crime gnats.
Did you like that show? What was it?
Carnival.
Carnival, yes.
The old HBO show.
That's like all
God, I love
circus
that.
stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Did you like those clowns?
Yes. Well, they don't have clowns up in there.
Oh, they don't.
They're just freaks.
Just like the strong man and
Yeah,
the
bearded
woman.
lady and like, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that show. The most prevalent in the olden days took place in the sideshow area, the freak show area and stuff like that. Things like 3-card Monte, bunco stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I would imagine that the circuses of today have to contend with like drug use and drug dealing as their kind of side crimes.
Okay.
Don't you think?
What do you mean contend? Like from the performers?
No, I'm just saying
keep them away from the meth? Like what are we saying?
No, I'm talking about like the crime that buzzes around it.
Yeah, they're selling drugs because they travel around.
Sure. Or like you've been to a carnival and like you see who runs the carnival rides.
Yes, I've been involved in supplying drugs to people inside shows. I used to know a bunch of people who were involved who did the carny life. So, like they would get all excited because summer was coming or spring was coming. And
Let's just say, Elizabeth, you're right.
There's definitely low-level crime going on.
But there was and remains another flavor of circus crime.
What kind?
The advanced con, like I was telling you about.
Yes, the advanced man. That's a good one.
Circus is coming, sell the stuff. No, it's not. And then there's the crime inside legit circuses in the form of embezzlement.
Oh, right.
And I have a bunch of these for you today, but the kicker, the final one, is a serious chef's kiss. We're going to be going out with a bang today.
Oh, I love bangs.
But running up to it, there are tons of stories and papers from the late 1800s and early 1900s about circus scams. One I particularly enjoyed was a 1909 article in the Saturday Evening Post entitled "The Confessions of a Con Man: Life with the Old-Time Circus."
Oh, I bet that was good.
Oh, yeah, it was great. It starts off, "This circus was a little 9-car concern which had some territory in Indiana and Michigan. We cut a zigzag course all the season. We showed a few poor trapeze and bareback turns, a small menagerie, and some clowns."
Dude, can you imagine having a circus train? Like giraffes poking out of that top and like you got bars
and like
for
contortionists
the tiger.
sitting on top of it.
Totally. And the juggler, like it's in there with the conductor or whatever.
Zaron? Yeah. Close your eyes.
Get out of town.
I'm kidding. So the article reminded me so much of what you said, Carnival, the HBO show that I love. Anyway.
It's really, I mean, that's such a great period.
It is. It's fantastic. So the article gives readers this like rare first-person explanation of circus-related fraud from the perspective of a working con man. There's this explanation of the inner divisions in the circus. Quote, "A circus is always divided into 2 camps. The performers, we call them kinkers, and the gamblers. The kinkers are the most retiring and exclusive people in the world. Half of them can't tell you the name of the town they're playing. Yeah. They don't seem to have any interest in anything but their acts. They go to their bunks when their performance is over, get up the next morning at the stop, practice, do their turns, eat, and then back to the bunks again. They hate the grafters on principle because the gambling games make so much noise and trouble. The canvas men, as a rule, side with the grafters." So those are just the roughnecks who put all the tents up and stuff.
I like the kinkers because it's like, that's like the lady who's got the like snakes in a whatever, a basket.
Yeah, she's like the snake
in the
charmer.
train car, and she's got to tend to all of her snakes.
And then like the mentalist who's like,
right? He's got to go like clean his turbans or whatever and like tend to his jewels.
So according to his account, the fraudsters in his group, they targeted circus audiences because of like these unique social conditions. When they'd come to a rural area, they get a huge crowd, a lot of farm families who didn't have a lot of exposure to professional entertainment.
Totally.
And people who had traveled long distances and like came to the circus and were ready to spend some money.
Before there was like TV, you're talking like before basically 1948, you have this desire
and you
to
set the
see
money
that
aside
stuff.
and you're like, I'm gonna go,
the spring is coming, the summer's coming,
we're gonna get treats and we're gonna like
the freak show will be here,
see the freak show,
and then also the kids can look at the nice
that
stuff.
lady's got 3 legs. That kind of stuff.
But I mean, imagine like it would open your eyes. You're just this farm boy or farm girl, and you're just going out to see like whatever, name a freak.
But that also made them the perfect marks for the bunco
of course
games. And so these con artists, they knew the visitors were vulnerable, not necessarily because they lacked intelligence, but just like the festive atmosphere just encouraged impulsive behavior and kind of lowered their skepticism.
It becomes very medieval.
Yes. So he tells the story of a working circus in rural Michigan that he was on, in logging country.
Nice.
And they duped a bunch of French-Canadian lumbermen who then came after them.
Oh, that's bad.
And he claims that 200 lumberjacks came calling to the tents at the end of the night looking to rumble.
That's an army of lumberjacks.
Yeah, and they wanted to take on the 25 grafters, which is like, okay, I know who's embellishing their story.
Yeah.
And there was
8 on 1. I mean, that's
there
crazy.
was a punching. There was a kicking. And the con men won.
No.
And
wait a minute.
Quote.
How did the
quote, we carted off 7 Frenchmen to the hospital. I don't know that any of them were disabled for life, but some looked to be pretty badly hurt. Besides a few bruises and cut heads, the only injury we had was one broken arm.
Were they like shooting them? Like, what's the
He's
deal?
just
How are you going to beat
through his teeth? These are ruffians, to be sure.
Totally. I don't believe a word of that.
Let's take a break, and when we come back, some more contemporary circus crime.
Ooh, yeah.
Zaron.
Elizabeth.
Zaron. Okay, so I've talked a lot about circus crimes of the past.
Yes, you always are going
in
on
a
about
short
those.
amount of time.
Yes, yeah.
But we have some that happened today.
Oh, you mean just today?
Like right now outside.
Yeah.
Now, the Better Business Bureau website has all sorts of complaints against circuses.
Oh, I bet.
Sold tickets to shows that never happened. I found a bunch of complaints about Garden Brothers Circus. And they're mostly from 2024. Garden Brothers looks totally unhinged based on their website.
It's called Garden Brothers?
Garden Brothers. They advertise as Garden Bros, Garden Brothers, Nuclear Circus.
Wait, what?
Humans Gone Wild.
Oh my God, it sounds like it's Juggalo related.
It's 100 minutes of nonstop entertainment, Zaron.
100 they timed it?
Yeah, and then they kick you out immediately. There's a lot of acrobatics and dance, clowns, dog tricks.
Oh, yeah.
I can get with that. But there's too many people. I don't do crowd anyway. And then there's both the Globe of Death and the Wheel of Death.
Oh, with the motorcycles inside.
Yeah. So the globe is for the motorcycles and the wheel is for acrobats.
Okay, all right.
But there's death involved.
Oh, where they have 2 wheels, they go around each other?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right now, it looks like they're traveling up and down the eastern seaboard with forays into like Indiana, Illinois, Missouri.
Oh, I'm so taking you to a circus this summer.
No. When you read, okay, maybe not. Here's what they say about themselves on their website. This is interesting. Garden Brothers Circus has been entertaining families for more than a century. Founded in the 1930s, which is not more than a century, but okay, shh, don't tell anybody.
They're getting close.
But more than a century.
Okay, they're
They're
wrong
writing
there.
from the future. Founded in the 1930s by Scottish immigrants William and Robertson Garden, it began as a small vaudeville act in Canada. Today, it stands as the largest circus on earth, touring across the United States and bringing unforgettable live entertainment to cities of every size.
How can it be the largest on earth and I've never heard of it?
That's a good question. And also, when I just read the line, I almost said uncomfortable instead of unforgettable
Yes.
or unforgivable. I don't know. I don't wear my glasses anymore because to hell with it. In 1916,
Yes.
William and Robertson Garden settled in Canada. William pursued a career in vaudeville, forming the act Garden and Shaw with his wife, Jean. They later established the Canadian Vaudeville Exchange, which evolved into Garden Amusements Limited. In 1932, William was contracted to produce a circus at the Coliseum in Toronto. By 1949, his brother Robertson joined as a partner, and together they relocated to California. During its early years, the circus was North America's sole full-time indoor circus.
Oh.
After William's passing in the 1950s, his sons Bill, George, and Ian launched smaller circuses. eventually adopting the name Garden Brothers Circus in 1959. They transitioned to indoor performances and introduced a circus tent in 1960. In 1967, Ian and Dick Garden took over, with Ian continuing the indoor Garden Brothers tour throughout Eastern Canada. In 1990, Ian passed the reins to his sons, Richard and Ian Jr., who carried on the tradition until around 2010. The Garden Brothers Circus title remained dormant until Niles Garden revived it in March of 2015.
Okay.
So it really is a family circus.
It truly is.
And they get their share of complaints.
No.
So here's a good one
Not
from
the Garden Bros.
This is a good one from July of 2024. This company is the biggest scam. On Sunday, July 7th, 2024, I had the so-called, quote, free tickets to attend the circus. These tickets are nothing more than a bait-and-switch scam. I had already paid $20 to park my car, and when I got to the gate to give my tickets, they showed me in small print, which was not worded properly to fully understand, that you need to purchase an adult ticket to use the, quote, free ticket. The ticket says free in big, bold letters, but the rules are in small fine print that you can't really understand. When I went over to the window to purchase a ticket, the price was $63 per adult. Then I was told they were sold out of general admission tickets, and I would have to purchase a VIP ticket, which was $20 extra, and a child's VIP ticket, which was an additional $10. So the free ticket wasn't free at all. I most certainly was not paying $80 to sit in a tent. Then the ticket also said at the bottom that the first 100 people to pay online would only be charged $14. So I went to the parking lot and attempted to buy tickets online. Of course, the $14 tickets were sold out and the online price was $50. That's 4 different prices listed. So are they just charging what they feel like? At this point, I just wanted to leave. So I asked the man working in the ticket booth if I could get my $20 back for the parking since I did not attend the show. The man in the ticket booth told me that I could get a refund if I gave the parking attendant my red ticket that I was given when I paid. When I approached the parking attendant, he told me that there were no refunds. I explained to him that the man working in the ticket booth told me I could get my money back since I did not attend the show. He then rudely told me, I'm sorry, no refunds. This whole operation is a scam, and I wonder why they're still even in business.
Sir, did you find a chalk mark on your back?
100%. 100%.
I mean, these
Such
are
a mark.
like pure carny moves.
Oh, God, yeah.
Directing them all around.
That's a classic one. There are other complaints about the tent being too hot. Like
too hot.
Yeah, diabetics who said that they had to go to the hospital for heat exhaustion due to the conditions in the tent. And then there's this complaint. We bought tickets for our visiting family on October 5th, 2024, 5 adult tickets at $315, and our young child. They drove 3 hours to see us and attend the circus. The tickets said the tent would be climate controlled. It was so hot inside the tent that we couldn't stay inside and see the event due to the excessive heat and concern for our young child and elderly family. It was 80 degrees outside and it was easily 90 plus degrees inside the tent. We wish to be refunded for our tickets, $315, as we were unable to stay and attend the event in the extreme temperatures inside. We submitted a refund request to the box office and was handed a flyer with an email address. We emailed the company and have not received any communication from them.
If they're charging like 60, 61 bucks a ticket for adults, how much do you think they're making per night? It's got to be thousands.
And then the concessions, how many inflatable alien balloons do you think they sell?
Oh my God, and big bags of stale popcorn?
Yes, and like hard cotton candy things.
The hardest cotton candy.
There's so much going on. Huge sodas.
You could brain a man with that cotton candy.
Well, my favorite was someone who threatened to report them to the state attorney general.
Good luck with
for
that.
selling waters and sodas from Sam's Club marked not for resale at a huge markup. So it looks like circuses are still sort of skirting the edges of the law in their operations.
Ever done.
But that's on the ground. There's also white collar circus crime.
Oh.
And that's got to be a heck of a reveal when you go to prison. What are you in for? Defrauding my circus.
So basically,
I robbed my circus.
Accountant embezzlement, that kind of stuff?
Okay, so that's the story of George Pace. George Pace was the board president of Circus Flora. And Circus Flora is a nonprofit, one-ring theatrical circus and a total St. Louis cultural institution.
Okay, so not like Cirque du Soleil, which is kind of what I was picturing.
Yeah, close. So the circus was commissioned by this Italian composer, Giancarlo Menotti, for the Spoleto Festival USA in 1986. Spoleto USA is this huge annual performing arts festival in Charleston, South Carolina.
Really? Have you heard of that?
I had I've
never heard of that. Sounds cool.
Yeah, it does. Menotti, see, he wanted to have like festivals like he had back in Europe. Specifically, Spoleto, Italy had these incredible festivals. And so he wanted a place as charming as Spoleto, so he picked Charleston. And the next year, he does this festival, has this Circus Flora. The next year, the circus found a permanent home in St. Louis.
Okay.
And so, but they travel around. It has elements of like traditional European circus mixed in with modern theater.
Okay.
And the performances are all originals. So Circus Flora doesn't just perform in St. Louis. In 1997, their big top was the first to ever be put up at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. And then 2002, they put the tent up at Lincoln Center, New York City, and a big festival there. They've done 6 appearances at the Spoleto Festival.
I assume like in the plaza we're talking about?
Yeah, yeah. And they've done 5 different appearances on the island of Nantucket, like these kind of vacation spot type.
Yeah, I get it.
So by the early 2020s, it wasn't just like a summer entertainment brand. It was a donor-supported local nonprofit with board governance.
Oh, wow.
Bank relationships, credit facilities.
Legit, yeah.
Yeah.
Not like a fly-by-night, just loaded up in the vans, we got to go.
No, they're not taking the profits and putting it into a cigar box.
The lumberjacks are coming.
Run, the lumberjacks are coming. And they're French-Canadian. So Pace, he joined the board of Circus Flora in 2020 and then later became the board president. And that put him in this position of like authority over the organization's finances, their banking transactions. The known fraud, the fraud that we know of, ran from December of 2022 through at least like September of 2023.
Okay.
And he used that period to exploit the circus a bunch of different ways at once rather than like one single theft or like bookkeeping maneuver. And so in those 9 months, he embezzled more than $123,000.
Wow.
From a nonprofit circus.
From a nonprofit circus. That's like not traveling a lot.
You know what that is? That's ridiculous. Yeah. So one part
it's also impressive.
Yeah, one part of the scheme was credit cards.
Oh.
So he was supposed to help close a Circus Flora line of credit at Enterprise Bank and open a new one at UMB Bank. And instead, he kept the Enterprise account alive. And he got a card in his own name tied to the circus, and he used it for his personal spending.
Okay.
And so he then also got like a second card for additional unapproved personal spending.
Oh.
This is stuff like fancy restaurants, nail salons,
gym memberships.
Yeah, skincare treatments.
Oh, yeah.
Horseback riding related expenses.
Leather handbags.
He's like, I just charged the circus.
Put the horses on my card.
So the scheme wasn't just unauthorized spending. He had to conceal it too. And so another circus official reviewed the expenses on one of the cards. And Pace didn't admit to like, oh yeah, no, those are I got acrylics on my hands. Or, that was my skin treatment. He said the card was stolen, and then he presented forged account statements to make it look like the disputed charges had been resolved.
Wow.
Yeah, like straight up deliberate deception on that one.
I mean, if you just said like, oh yeah, the car got stolen and like, dispute the charges, that might work.
No, then he's like, and guys.
But then he loses the card.
Guys, I'm ahead of you. I already disputed the charges and you have an old statement. This is the new statement. Yeah. A second part of the fraud involved checks and debt payments. So Pace diverted checks that were drawn on Circus Flora's bank account to himself, instead of using them to pay down a line of credit. And then at first that was like around $50,000, but then interest racks up.
Oh no.
And that tacked on thousands of dollars.
From what I hear, interest compounds.
It does. It does. A third part of the fraud really like hit at donor confidence. Because
oh right, it's a nonprofit. They're counting on donors. Oh wow.
He deposited thousands of dollars in donor checks made payable to Circus Flora into his personal bank account.
Oh no.
And like for a nonprofit,
yeah, that's real bad.
That's serious.
And it's also really easy to track. These days,
it's super easy to track. But like, okay, so that's not just their revenue, but these people have trusted a donation. Yes. This happens, like you're out of luck.
And you're a circus relying on donors, and if you lose and burn your donors,
you're a circus. Full stop. Like right there, it's an uphill battle, exactly. Right? Okay, so
but you're not relying on like the fake ticket scams or whatever.
No, exactly. So St. Louis Magazine reported that executive director Jack Marsh had a lot of damage control to do before criminal charges became public. So he had to like quietly inform donors of the problem and like hope they'd be understanding.
Yeah, stick with us.
And the organization, like they hoped that the money could be recovered without law enforcement, but then they had to go to authorities when they saw like the scope of it.
I'm sure. Once you started seeing 5-figure amounts.
Yeah. And it was, everything came to light internally. It wasn't because of a public audit or like a whistleblower. Mm-hmm. They just started noticing these things in the books and then, put it together. Marsh told St. Louis Magazine that the circus became alarmed when the bank records didn't match up. There's basically two books.
Yeah.
And he said that, something seemed to be missing. They start digging. He said it was like unpeeling an onion. And eventually they figured, okay, this isn't some hacker. This isn't a clerical error. It's coming from our board president, the king of the circus. So September 2023, according to Marsh, Circus Flora confronted Pace. Like there was a clown with like a bowling pin, like slapping it on his hand. Like, exactly. Yeah. He resigned.
Telling the lion tamer to hold him back.
Pace resigned. And even then it didn't become public knowledge, and they kept operating and like privately dealing with the fallout. But there's such a beloved institution in St. Louis, and people really were just like, if you can get rid of him, although there were like rumors online of people like, well, if he got away with it, what else are they doing? Anyway. So Marsh said Circus Flora, they put on their 2024 season and they tried to fulfill their mission, but it was a low point. So the fraud, it did not collapse the circus, but it left this like huge financial hole that they had to address, preserving the donor confidence, having like stability to the public. So the criminal case became public on November 20th, 2024. And the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of Missouri announced a 6-count federal wire fraud indictment. And so at that stage, the government was like, look, these are allegations. He's presumed innocent. Wink. But they lay out those 3 principal avenues of fraud, right? The credit cards, the checks, the depositing donor checks, diverting, pay down debt. And then it also alleged a separate strand of misconduct involving applications to the Small Business Administration. Oh. So like the circus thought it was just credit cards and debt payments. No. They get the feds involved, and the feds are like, oh, wait, there's more.
You've been asking us for money, too.
Yeah. So the Small Business Administration broadened everything out. He applied on August 9th, 2022 for an $18,200 SBA disaster assistance loan by misrepresenting his income and bank balance.
So wait, are they doing like COVID-era loans?
Yeah, 2020. Okay. That's what I'm thinking. It's like PPPs and stuff like that. He applies again, 11 days later for another 11 grand while hiding the fact that he already received 2 PPP loans that totaled more than 38,000. He's like, no, that wasn't me. That was another guy. That was another clown.
It was Flora Circus. We're Circus Flora.
It's easily confused. So by the time he pleaded guilty, he admitted to making 2 fraudulent SBA disaster loan applications totaling almost 30 grand. Although the government denied both, but he got in trouble for just going there.
Wow, I thought that low amount that they would be like, here you go.
And then it wasn't the same. It wasn't like the direct loss of Circus Flora, but it's just like, okay, this guy is a creep. Add this on. How did he become a board member at the circus?
A little curious about that.
He was a local executive. So he'd been high up in digital marketing and was chief executive officer of the U.S. office of the London-based advertising firm Partners Andrews Aldridge.
Okay, if you say so.
Yeah, right? I don't know. Before that gig, he was a senior VP and client partnership director at a marketing firm called Ansira.
Does this all sound hinky?
He did like adjunct professor work at Washington University.
Okay.
Sounds impressive enough. Business guy, well-connected. but not in like the wise guy connected way. Obviously, like they would not steal from an Italian inspired circus.
Exactly.
Like they have standards.
He's connected like I've had a job before.
Yes.
Like I know people.
He's like, I have a business card.
Yeah, exactly.
That's his connection.
You see my papers, my business papers? It's a card.
It's a card. According to St. Louis Magazine, quote, in 2007, the Business Journal reported that Drive Agency was one of the fastest growing privately held companies in St. Louis, and that Pace, who had recently purchased the agency, had added $2 million to its billing. By 2008, that's 1 year later, however, the company had ceased operations, and Pace listed its value as zero in a 2013 bankruptcy filing. The filing showed more than $1 million debt, much of it credit card debt, and few assets other than the family home in Ladue, a 1989 Jeep Cherokee, and 2 dogs and 2 chickens.
Wait, his assets were a chicken and an 89 Jeep Cherokee?
An 89 Jeep Cherokee, 2 dogs, and 2 chickens. He puts that on his assets.
What do you have,
He said he had $175 in the bank. And like, so sometimes I'm like, you know what? I'm doing all right. I see this. I'm like, you know what?
Not a chicken. I've got 2 chickens.
Two.
And the dog and the cat.
And he stole them from the circus.
So those are pets. They're assets.
So the case shifted decisively.
Do I own them or not?
January 28th, 2026. So just a few months ago, he pleaded guilty in federal court to 4 counts of wire fraud. He admitted the core facts. And he also admitted that he got specific with the loss amount. They were giving ballpark. He's like, no, actually, let me tell you. I defrauded them $123,015.94.
Was he like an accountant or is he going for like a circus record?
They were like, get out of here, nerd. He's scheduled to be sentenced May 4th, 2026. So we could go.
Oh, he's still not been sentenced. Yeah.
Yeah. He's just in limbo. The DOJ said each wire fraud count carries a potential maximum penalty of 20 years in prison and a $250,000 fine.
Each charge of wire fraud? Yeah, why would they? Anyway.
And Circus Flora is like, can we talk restitution?
Yeah, please.
We'll see.
Can we sell the chicken?
I hope they get it, but I feel like a dude like that might be judgment proof at this point.
Yeah, I think so.
Let's take a break. And upon our return, the star of the show.
Oh, that's right.
Zaron.
Elizabeth. By the way, can I just say how much I love carny crime and circus crime?
Good.
You know, I have a book, a picture book of like side. I think it's called Sideshow, and it's just all photographs from like the mostly the South, but a little bit of the Midwest, like Missouri and stuff, which is like kind of South, kind of Midwest. And I so want to show it to you, but I think it would scare you because it's like 1950s, 1960s black and white photography, and it's just like the whatever, like the snake charmer lady behind the scenes, and she's just sitting there smoking with a
those
Kaffir
are really
stuff
interesting
on.
to me. And when I was reading, there's a big debate about people with disabilities who were exploited, but at the same time, their families couldn't afford to feed them, or they would never have.
At the time, it was steady employment.
Yeah, they wouldn't have employment, and so in some cases they actually could make money and like have some fame
and find a community,
but like.
But you're still being exploited.
You're being completely exploited, and that's like those rare cases for the most part in these small circuses. You're stripping people of their humanity, and you're setting back disability rights issues so far because you're saying like you're not part of the community.
Yeah,
and so what really decimated that were the advances in disability rights. And so, yeah, like it's a fascinating thing. It fascinates me. And like those kind of weird fringe people, like a snake charmer, like how did you wind up there?
And also there's a lot of places they create a little community amongst themselves.
Yeah.
Like, and they also, it's like, people would have pointed at me, at least now I'm getting money, in a sense.
Exactly.
At that time,
Right.
before we had disability advocacy.
Exactly. So yeah, it's like it's the atmosphere of it. Like you said, HBO's Carnival. If you haven't seen it, it's fantastic. I love it. Anyway, so I have a story to share with you that I love a whole lot.
I love stories. And I love when you love a story.
It's about a guy named F. Bam Morrison.
Great name.
Oh my God. Now this guy, he doesn't have enough to get his own whole episode, which is a shame. And I think that maybe with months or years of research, like more of the story could be discovered, but I have a busy on the go lifestyle, so I can't. I just can't, Zaron.
Yes.
I want to tell this story.
We're lucky we get this much time from you,
right? So I had to build it into something else. And originally, I was going to try and find a ridiculous crime involving the singer Van Morrison, and make this the Van and Bam Morrison show. But I couldn't find anything that worked for old Van the man, other than being like anti-vax and cranky, and yet still my mother's favorite singer. Go figure.
Really?
So, oh yeah. So I found other circus crimes, all in the service of telling you this story.
Oh, yeah.
So we had fun. We've had fun.
Totally.
We're about to have more. 1950, a man named F. Bam, B-A-M, Morrison.
Bam Morrison.
At least that's what he said his name was. F. Bam. Rolled into town.
I'm dropping F-Bams over here.
In Wetumpka, Oklahoma.
Oh, heck yeah.
Population 2,500. The town got its name from the Muskogee Creek people.
I was just about to say.
Driven out of their ancestral homeland in Wetumpka, Alabama. So they made it to what is now Wetumpka. They dropped the P in Wetumpka, Oklahoma. They gave it the name they knew best. That's the Muskogee word for rumbling waters. In Wetumpka, everybody knows everybody.
Yeah.
When the ranchers come into town, they visit with Argie Taylor at the Farmers Exchange.
Oh, wow, you got names?
Yeah, they go see Logan Walker at the filling station.
All right.
They may say hello to Mayor Herman Darks and Armand Gibson and his father Harley, who's better known as Hoot Gibson.
Oh, I love
Hoot Gibson, Zaron.
Yes. It's Oklahoma as you can get.
I need to, can we start a sign with all of our favorite names?
Right? We come
up.
across so many great names on here.
Yeah, there's Julian Peixoto, the grocery guy. Peixoto. P-E-I-X-O-T-T-O.
I did not expect
No,
that.
you didn't see that coming, did you?
Did not at all.
No,
Snuck
sassy
right
boy.
up on top of me.
Yep, you think you're so smart.
Nope, not at all.
Bill Tankersley, the baker.
Tankersley?
And the good people who keep the town running, all of them. And so then there's F-Bam.
Yes.
And
Don't
no
forget
one
F-Bam.
could really remember how it was that he turned up. But in short time, he had the town just eating out of his grubby little hand.
I would like to believe that the F is his name. It's not short for Francis.
No, it's just F.
It's just F. His family just called him F.
F, yeah. F-Bam. So F-Bam, as Peixoto recalls him, was a man past middle age with sandy hair. He had rugged, red, honest-looking face.
Okay.
Good clothes, but not a dandy.
Sure.
And had one of those voices. But in other accounts, it was much different. Time magazine called him a tall, talented gentleman. Another source said he wore a checkered vest and a large gold chain. Grant Herring, who worked at Herring Hardware, quote, described the stranger as kind of a short man, dressed real flashy, probably in his 40s.
Wait, we have tall and short?
We have tall and short.
Okay.
He's every man. It's all in him.
I like that we have red and white checker, and someone said flashy clothes.
Yeah.
So I assume those are talking about the same thing.
And then they said, but he's not flashy.
But
He's
not
well-dressed,
flashy,
but he's not a
well-dressed.
dandy.
Yeah.
Julian Peixoto's son, David, was a Boy Scout at the time.
Okay.
He remembers F-Bam as kind of little and on the heavy side, and to me, older, maybe in his 50s, and he dressed nice. He was nice and mannerly. Jerry Herring, Grant's son, said, we didn't know if that was his real name, and he didn't even know how the guy came in, by automobile, rode the bus, or what.
It feels like he came in on his own wagon, like a snake, a snake oil salesman.
Yes, exactly. All creak, parked on the edge of town. So F-Bam's voice had a lot to do with his magnetic personality. He had this tone of voice that would conjure up the sound of a calliope. And
wait, so is he mellifluous?
No,
or is it
he
kind
just
of
had that
peaks
kind
and
of
valleys,
the peaks and valleys.
Very dramatic.
And his excitement made adults feel like they were kids again. And so according to reporting from the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, quote, when F-Bam talked of the beautiful gymnasts, every man in town saw pink tights. When he talked of the elephants and the camels, people smelled the hay and the sawdust. And there was a lingering taste like roasted peanuts in their mouths.
I like that.
Isn't this great? So he was the kind of person in verbiage you may recognize from treacly Southern obituaries that never met a stranger.
Oh, yes.
Never met a stranger.
So he could talk.
Yeah.
That boy got to get to gab.
He seemed oddly familiar to people. So he worked that angle. Has anyone ever told you, like, do I know you?
No,
like,
people don't say that to me,
yeah,
Elizabeth.
I know they don't. I just thought I'd swing and a miss, Dutton. That happens to me every now and then. People are like, do I know you? Like, and it's like, we have absolutely nothing in common. And I'm always tempted to be like, oh my God, yeah.
So what's that like when people do that?
Where did we go to school together? Oh, yes.
Do you do like a whole thing? Like, is that like let's spend 5 minutes
like,
guessing?
Well, who else? Who's my good doppelganger?
Who are your people? Who might we know?
Who's the good twin?
Oh, so
Elizabeth
you think you
out
look
there.
like someone. So it's not a vibe thing. It's that you look, okay. Huh.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't even know how this plays.
I don't even know either. Maybe people aren't really talking and I'm imagining they say these things to me. Maybe I'm standing
Are these
in
dogs
a
and
Home
cats
Goods
telling you this?
talking to a mirror. I don't know. Do you know? I don't know.
Not a clue.
Okay, so he worked this angle of seeming oddly familiar to people by telling the people of Wetumpka that they'd met him before. And he was like, I was here 25 years prior, and I brought a carnival to town to benefit the volunteer fire department. And people were like, yeah, I think wasn't there a carnival a while back? Yeah, I remember you. And then like they'd talk some more and he'd have this like gregarious, charming guy persona, and they're like remembering him and then remembering how great they thought he was at the time.
This works, huh?
No, it totally works. And then they were like, yeah, I really liked him back then, and I always wanted him to come back, and here he is.
Huh.
So I don't need to tell you that he'd never been to town before.
I was guessing that, yeah.
That's just prime con man behavior, like top shelf work on that. He told everyone that he was the advance man for the Bonds United circus shows.
Bonds United.
BOHN''S.
Oh.
You know, the Bonds United.
Course. I don't know why.
40 rides, 40 shows, even a guy named Tex Walker.
Even a guy named Tex
the Tex Walker? So in all of my investigations.
Sharpshooter, Tex Walker.
All of my diggins, I only saw that name connected to this story, Bonds United circus shows. Nowhere else. And anyway, so
this is so Oklahoma.
F-Bam, he came through town because he remembered the fine folks, and he's like, you know what, you deserve to have a circus here, not some other rinky-dink town. This place, Wetumpka, is special. You deserve nice things.
It's like Music Man.
Oh,
it's
everything,
like
yeah. So he told them how the circus is going to, when a circus comes to town, it can attract thousands of people from all over the countryside. And, they spend money at these things. Food, lodging, gas, and then sales just to the circus itself. You throw in the visitors, boy, howdy, it is a boon for a town that gets a circus. But he didn't run it as a hard sell, right?
No.
It wasn't an outright pitch. He was just like sharing fun facts.
Yeah.
Talked about what life was like on the road with a circus.
He likes these fine people and just wants to share good times with them.
Oh, it was crazy. This town got this, like all these cool stories, tales of stops in other towns. And he just let it permeate, sink into him. Julian Peixoto, the grocer, he told the Post-Dispatch, quote, I remember noticing him around town with a bunch of placards under his arm, and I thought maybe he was a traveling photographer. I saw him with the chief of police, and they were very friendly, and then someone told me he was promoting a show for the benefit of the Roundup Club.
He feels like a guy who would have a cigar ready to give out to like a chief of police.
Yes. So the Roundup Club was an organization of people who were like interested in horses and riding.
Yeah, I caught that. Yeah.
Okay,
Oklahoma, the Roundup. Yeah, totally.
Peixoto got a call from someone who was like, no, it's not the Roundup Club. It's going to benefit the Boy Scouts. Don't forget, his son was in the Boy Scouts.
Right.
And so here's how he describes their meeting. Quote, they sent him over to see me. He was very friendly, very warm, and very convincing. He didn't try to high pressure me. I asked him where the circus was, and he said it was over in Arkansas. He started explaining that when they came, they would buy a lot of groceries, about $1,500 worth. I knew they couldn't eat $1,500 worth of groceries in a day, but he had a quick answer for that. He said they put up bags of groceries as prizes in the game of chance. Well, I wound up buying the sign space above the main entrance. Cost me $30. I also bought 100 pounds of hot dogs, which he said the hot dog stands would be needing.
No.
Yeah. So now that the grocer's in for $30 and 100 pounds of hot dogs, F-Bam goes to see Bill the baker.
Okay.
According to Bill, quote, he told me they were going to need buns for all these hot dogs. So a couple of days before the circus day, I started baking buns, baked 400 of them. I talked to F-Bam for quite a while, but I didn't get to say much. When he first approached me, I turned him down. That sort of insulted him. He really started talking there, and the first thing I knew, I had agreed to everything he wanted, including money for an ad on the sound truck. So he goes on, from anyone else, I'd have required a deposit for 400 buns. But somehow he made me believe he was an exception. Then there was all those loaves of bread to go into those bags of groceries he was going to buy from Julian. All I could see was hundreds of loaves of out-of-town bread in those bags, and I couldn't stand that.
Wow. What an era of Americans.
Gotcha. Right? So F-Bam, he ran up tabs and paid for them with VIP tickets. He went to see Floyd Franklin over at the Meters Hotel.
Okay.
He told Floyd that they're going to need like 30 rooms.
Yeah, book a room, block a room.
Floyd blocked him off. And that's not going to cost him anything, like unless he has to turn people away.
That's going to say.
But see, Floyd was too nice. He wanted the best for these visiting performers. So he went out and bought a new mattress for each of the 30 rooms.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm not kidding.
30 mattresses? Like one for the juggler, one for an acrobat?
Yes.
Floyd.
F-Bam told Logan Walker at the filling station that the circus was going to buy oil and gas from him exclusively. And so he was like, oh, great. Can I buy an ad? $30. F-Bam rolling in cash. People were comping him for everything. And then he said he had to leave town for a few days, but the circus would be there on schedule. Zaron, close your eyes.
Oh, yes. My eyes are closed.
I want you to picture it. It's June 24th, 1950. You are a 6-year-old boy who drove all day yesterday with his family to come stay with your aunt here in Wetumpka and see the circus. It's all you've been thinking about since you heard about it a week ago. You begged and begged to come see your Aunt Sadie and go to the circus. You've never been to the circus before. They don't come out your way. You live far south of here in Choctaw Nation land, almost at the Texas border. Wetumpka is about 90 miles east of Oklahoma City, but it feels like light years away. You spent 6 long, hot, dusty hours in the car with your ma and pa and little sister and grandma just to get here. And today is the big day. You woke up early, far before everyone else. Strands of puffy clouds are lit from below by the rising sun as it kisses the horizon good morning. Your aunt lives a few blocks off of Main Street. The whole house is still asleep as you slip down the hallway. You tiptoe away from the twin bed you shared with your sister last night, her gentle breathing matched beat for beat by the snoring of your aunt's old bloodhound, Buddy, as he lays puddled at the foot of the bed, ever vigilant. You quietly open the back door and slip out into the yard. You know Wetumpka. You come here every summer and stay with your aunt for almost a month. It's your favorite time of year. She dotes on you and tells you what a special boy you are. She cuddles your sister. She is love. And all of her friends in town are just as kind and warm. It's a special place. You walk down the driveway to the road. Turn right, you'd head to the railroad tracks. Left takes you to Main Street. You turn on your heel to your left and begin to skip. You wonder what kind of animals they'll have at the circus. And will there be a cowboy doing tricks? Maybe an acrobat flipping high into the air. You are buzzing with anticipation. There's supposed to be a parade in a few hours coming right down Main Street. You're determined to get a prime spot. You don't want to miss a thing. As you get closer to Main Street, you remind yourself to be a good boy, to not get underfoot, to not annoy any of the adults. A good boy, not some baby, a grown boy. You get to Main Street and it's suspiciously silent. You look both ways up and down the road and you don't see any sign of a parade, just some men walking up and down the street. One stops right near you, places his hands on his hips and exhales. You look up at him and he lifts the cowboy hat from his head and fans himself with it. Hey there, mister. Are you excited for the parade? I'm going to get the best spot for watching it. You gesture at the next block. Maybe over there. The man looks at you, his eyes tender. He makes a little frown that just accentuates the bristly white mustache that runs in a thick line from one side of his chin up across his upper lip and then back down to the other side of his chin. He shuffles his feet on the pavement. He smells of tobacco and boot polish. Son, I don't know if we're going to have a parade today. You stare at him in disbelief, unsure you've heard what he just said. A door slams shut on a storefront down the street, and the sound causes a mass of tiny, delicate flapping from a tree behind you. The sky above you now crowds with starlings in a murmuration. They undulate as one mass, twisting and contorting in the sky, headed for the fields outside of town. You'd love to fly away with them right now. Are you Sadie's kin? The man asks you. Yes, sir, you reply. I'm Clifton, he tells you. Sadie's late husband was one of my cousins. You can call me Hawk. You think on that for a moment. You tell him your name is Hugh. And what should you call me, you ask? Let's call you Tiger. You love that. Tiger. Hawk asks if you want to hop in his truck and look and see if there's anyone at all from the circus around. You agree. You're Tiger now. And that's the sort of thing Tiger would do with Hawk. Hawk shouts down the block to another man that he's going to go check out the rodeo grounds. The man nods. You and Hawk get into his old pickup. It roars to life. The engine sputters a little and then reliably chugs you both down the road to the rodeo grounds. Hawk whistles a lonesome tune. You stare out the window, tracking the starlings on their dance across the fields. You get to the rodeo grounds and it's empty, save a man in a plaid shirt. Argy, Hawk calls to him. He walks over to the truck. Hawk cuts the engine. They quietly discuss the situation at hand. No parade, no circus. You gather that some guy named F. Bam Morrison skipped town. He took everybody's money. Half the folks are spitting mad, and the other feel half like fools. Suckers. Argy looks into the cab of the truck and sees you. Who's this, he asks. It's Sadie's nephew. Name's Tiger. Howdy, Tiger, Argy says. For all the disappointment of missing the parade and the circus and the balloons and the feats of daring do, you are filled with a new pride. You really are a grown boy. You're not underfoot. You're not annoying. You're just a good grown boy.
Oh my God, that was
there you are.
Charming.
So,
by the way, new nickname. I want to be called Hawk now.
Hawk. You can be Hawk.
Yeah.
That's a good name, right?
Totally.
I have to confess, I was going through like current and past like social media posts from people from the town and news reports, newspapers. I'm like, I want good names. I want names.
Hard. That was so great.
So, thank you.
No, I mean, that was really, really fun.
The people of the town, they went back to their days. The visitors dispersed.
I mean, that part was sad.
That's terribly
sad. The story was good.
And I had to have something there. And so all the merchants, they're left holding the bag, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
But this is a plucky town. I can't tell you what a soft spot I have for this place that I've developed in researching them. Mm-hmm. Like, of course, I go to Google Street View. It looks so much now like a lot of small towns that I've visited or known well or lived in. Like this rich agricultural past, a lot of industry that boomed and then left, and they suffer all the ills that we can throw at them, but they hang on.
Do they have like a main street and like
they have a main street that's like got a lot of
stoplights,
empty storefronts, and and especially they're also dealing with like native populations and having to support.
I heard you were the Choctaw Nation.
Yeah,
I'm glad you mentioned that because Oklahoma is definitely
totally. And so they're plucky, right? They hang on. And that's what they did in the wake of F. Bam. They had all the fixings for a party. Why not go ahead and have one?
Good for them.
So C.A. McWilliams, the publisher of the Wetumpka Gazette, decided that they didn't have to hang their heads in shame. They could celebrate this whole fiasco and have a good laugh. Once we decided to laugh about it and chalk it up to experience, we all felt better, said Argy Taylor. So the Boy Scouts, they served up the 100 pounds of hot dogs for free from booths in the middle of Main Street. Businesses hid little bits of money in all that hay that was ordered for the circus animals, and they let the kids dig around and find treasure. It turned into this huge party, and then they wanted to have one every year, and that's when Suckers Day was born.
Suckers Day.
They created a holiday from it called Suckers Day.
I love, when they talk about City Mouse and Country Mouse, I love Country Mouse
100%.
reaction to things.
Yes.
It's so pure.
Every time.
So, yeah.
So they're like, he got away with some cash, right? But Suckers Day is worth way more than that. This one kid in Wetumpka was asked about it, and he said, we couldn't have put him in jail. We'd come unsuckered if we did that.
Oh, my goodness.
So the 1951, like the next year, had a small parade. So there was a float that had this mock grave of the advanced man who'd fooled the town.
Yes, naturally.
FBAM. And it said, died from laughing. 10,000 people from 15 different states came to this one the next year.
Not 15 different cities, 15 different states. So they told their family, their cousins, and everybody.
Word gets around. It probably runs in papers of this story. Each year, the celebration got bigger. Soon it was starting at noon the day before with this giant free barbecue. On the eve of Suckers Day, Creek Indians in their native costume did dances. They played a game of Indian stickball at the school stadium.
Love this.
The next day there was the parade. Bands played. They had drill teams from the town and like all the surrounding towns performed.
I'm imagining like Midwest syndicated columnists like Mike Royko writing about this.
There was hog calling, pie eating, pop drinking.
Oh my God.
Catching a greased pig. They had a softball game.
The fact that this is real
and
is
then they
incredible.
would have like this gather round and we're going to tell the tale of Sucker Day, like how it came about.
I can't believe this isn't like a play or a movie.
No. There was a greased pole climbing contest.
Oh my goodness.
A can dance done by, quote, beautiful Hollywood dancers who turned out to be local businessmen in costumes. And then at night, to top it all off, a big square dance up and down Main Street. Like, it sounds dreamy.
Yes.
It sounds amazing. And it fills me with joy and hope. And I love it. So a couple of years after the very first Suckers Day, people jammed the sidewalks, overflowed into the street because they were looking for F. Bam Morrison. He promised to come to Suckers Day that year.
Get out.
Yeah, no one thought they'd ever hear from him again, but then Argie Taylor got a long-distance call from authorities in Warrensburg, Missouri. They had F. Bam Morrison in jail there. According to the Post-Dispatch, quote, it seems that F. Bam in 1951 had gone to the little town of Holden near Warrensburg, where he had painted a glowing picture of the circus he was bringing to town. He collected money from the merchants and departed, but he made the mistake of going back to Holden this spring, and they recognized him. Oh. They called the sheriff at Warrensburg, and F. Bam was arrested. Charged with obtaining money under false pretenses, he pleaded guilty, was fined $50, and given 30 days in jail.
I figured he had a blown tire or something, trying to leave town.
The jail sentence was suspended, however, on condition that he pay the fine and leave town. F. Bam succeeded after a few long-distance calls in raising the money, so he was released after having spent about 10 days in jail. Warrensburg authorities wanted to know if we still wanted F. Bam, Argie Taylor related. We had sent out an arrest order for him back in 1950. I told them that we still wanted him all right, but not for the same reasons. I asked to talk to him. They brought him to the telephone, and it was F. Bam all right. I told him, we don't want to prosecute him, but we did want him as our guest for Suckers Day. Offered to pay his expenses and give him $100. He promised he would be here. A couple of weeks later, he called me from St. Louis. Collect, of course. He said he needed $25. I didn't send it to him, and we've never heard from him since. He said when he called, he had a job with a show over in Kansas, and he needed $25 to tide him over until his check came through from his last job. You know, said Argie. He sounded so convincing, I came within an ace of sending him that money. So Suckers Day continued through the 50s, then it fell off, then it was revived in the late 70s, and I think they still celebrate it today.
Really?
And I would love to attend.
Yes.
Road trip.
Can we?
Let's do it.
I'm so down
for
something called Suckers Day.
From Suckers Day.
Yeah.
And I just want to tell these people how much I love them, even though I don't know them. I love them.
Absolutely. This is like the best of America.
It is. So Zaron, what's your ridiculous takeaway?
I cannot believe this is real. I kept waiting for you to be like, sucker, at the very end. No. This is incredible.
No.
And so like, I keep repeating myself with this, but this is like the America that I think we all can agree, the innocence, and then like, let's make the best of this and come together as a community, and the Boy Scouts will sell the hot dogs. I mean, like, you just gotta love this.
I think that's what, like, my takeaway.
What's yours, Elizabeth?
That's what resonates with me too with this particular story is that it's like when we talk about like this is what the America that we know and we love. So we have these people who have been crapped on.
Yeah.
And they're not bitter about it. And they're not embarrassed. Like they were ashamed at first and then they realized, wait a second, I have nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah.
And they're willing to admit, yeah, you know what? I fell for it. So if you can admit your mistakes and you can admit your failings and then turn around and turn it into this really beautiful event to celebrate this community that loves and cares for each other.
Yeah, come up with a reason to get together.
The idea that if this attraction was coming to town, how awesome they were going to make it for everybody who attended. They weren't looking out for their own interests. I mean, they were, but it was like the overarching theme was like, let's have something really great here.
Yeah.
And it's going to benefit all of us. And so it was like a collective of them all working together. And to turn that into this like collective action of just the best party ever that just keeps growing and growing.
Yeah. And also not getting mad at the guy who conned him. Because he didn't like take him for too much. You know, it's like just at the level they're like, okay, this is what you have to do.
He could take money, but he couldn't take who they are.
Yeah, exactly.
And so these are good people and you can't take that. And like
completely.
We need to remember that like when we feel like, and we have had things taken from us, there are the ineffables that can't be taken from us, and that's who makes us who we are.
Yeah, don't let them change you.
Yeah, and so it's just like we can feel bitter and we can feel irritated or you know, damaged and wounded by things, but the truth of the matter is like who we are doesn't change, and we need to like recognize that, celebrate that in ourselves and in each other, like when we see it in each other too. Yeah. And sometimes you got to take the hit in order for the greater good. You know, they didn't pay him for the 100 hot dogs, but we're talking about it now. And how much joy did that give people, like in the face of that? So anyway, God, I love that story. So I need to talk back now.
Me too.
Talk back. Oh my God, did he just say that?
OMG.
Hey, Zaron and Elizabeth. I just had a funny story for you. The first time I ever listened to you guys, I was on a 4-hour flight, and it was the Disney World Theft, Guy Fieri, PCP Man, and Frank Sinatra Jr. episodes, and you guys had me laughing so hard I was crying, which made the guy sitting next to me very uncomfortable throughout the flight. So, awesome job, and keep up the good work.
Oh my God, we've won. That's all I want in life. Isn't that it's like the best and worst feeling when you're listening to something or reading something and you're just dying laughing and no one knows what it is.
People have to turn to you. What are you reading?
Yeah.
What are you listening to?
And it feels so good, but it's also like you want it to just stop. Like, hold on, I got to focus. And now everyone's looking at me because God, I love it. Well, I am so happy that A, we got you through a 4-hour flight.
Yeah, for real.
And B, that we made you chuckle. That's my life's goal.
Same.
Make this person laugh. I did it. I can die now. All right. So that's it for today. You can find us online at ridiculouscrime.com. We're at Ridiculous Crime on Bluesky and Instagram. YouTube, Ridiculous Crime Pod.
YouTube.
Yes. YouTube. Sorry, I'm just learning.
It's okay.
Email us at ridiculouscrime@gmail.com. Leave a talk back on the iHeart app. Please, please, please. I love those. Reach out. Ridiculous Crime is hosted by Elizabeth Dutton and Zaron Burnett. Produced and edited by Circus Man to the Stars, Dave Kustin. Starring Annalise Rutger as Judith. Research is by contortionist Marissa Brown and Happy Clown Jabari Davis. The theme song is by Thomas Lee and Travis Dutton, 2 men who were recently eaten by a lion. Post wardrobe is provided by Botany 500. Guest hair and makeup by Sparkle Shot and Mr. Andre. Executive producers are Ben Ringling Brothers Bolin and Noel Garden Brothers Brown.
Ridiculous crime.
Say it one more time.
Ridiculous crime.
Ridiculous Crime is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.